Woo! What's going on, guys? Ernest Forum coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what the Lions did by picking up a guy named John Cominsky. Defensive end, played for the Atlanta Falcons. He played for the Atlanta Falcons for a couple of years. 6'5", 275 pounds. Played at college at 286 pounds in college. 26 years old. Went to Charleston. He's a Charleston Golden Eagle. Division II school. Mountain East Conference in the MEC. His stats: 206 tackles. This is college. 206 tackles, 15 and a half sacks, 10 pass breakups, 48 and a half tackles for loss. 2 forced fumbles, couple fumble recoveries, 5 years of play at Charleston. 4 really was redshirted as a freshman, didn't get on the field. So the 48 and a half tackles for loss is impressive no matter what school you went to, Division II, Division III. I don't care where you're playing in the Arena League, that is impressive. That's a lot of tackles for loss. That's getting into the backfield. Now, he was an MEC, Mountain East Conference Defensive Player of the Year in 2018. He officially ran a 4.69 at the combine back in 2019. I want to say he even ran a 4.66 as his first run at the combine, then added a 4.71, and that equaled out to about 4.69 as his official 40. So that's middle linebacker. That's average middle linebacker speed right there. And like I said, ended up being drafted in the 4th round by the Atlanta Falcons in 2019. Usually, when you start getting guys in the 4th round, you're looking for depth. You're looking for backups, basically, but you're looking for production out of guys from the 4th round. When you first take a look at John Cominsky, he looks like a 3-4 D end, big at 6'5". Coming out of college, he was 286 pounds, played at about 275 in Atlanta as a Falcon. And when he first came into the league, played for Dan Quinn in that attacking defense, in that 4-3. He played better as a 4-3 defensive end, but he looks like a 3-4 D end. But he played better in an attacking defense, switched to a 3-4 back in 2021 when Dan Quinn ended up getting fired. I think he moved on to being the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. It never really looked the part, never really panned out, didn't look good in that scheme last year as a Falcon. Falcons ended up releasing him in 2022. We ended up getting him. Now, I wasn't really going to make a video about this guy until I kind of found out that 8 teams were tried to also put a claim in for him. So those 8 teams were the Washington Commanders, the Indianapolis Colts, Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans, Arizona Cardinals, Minnesota Vikings. Nice to get a player off from the Vikings they're trying to get, and the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Lions ended up getting him. We had the number 2 overall pick, so we had a very high waiver claim. Only Jacksonville could have got him over us. So we ended up getting him. And like I said, I wasn't going to do a video on this guy. I wasn't going to do a video on him. I wasn't going to, I haven't done a video for every single player the Detroit Lions have picked up. But when I kind of read that, some teams were really looking at them, so like 7-8 teams were looking at this guy, I was like, man, maybe I should do a little bit of tape study on him. Because when you just like look at the overall picture, you just look at his stats and you don't really get into the film. Sometimes that can mislead you. So I looked at his stats, didn't do a thing in Atlanta for the first 2-3 years, wherever he was. 2019, 20, 21, didn't do nothing. Barely played as a rookie. Played a little bit better in 2020, and then just didn't play well at all in 2021. Really couldn't do much. He's better in that attacking style defense, and they kind of switched over Atlanta. We are in an attacking style defense. So his NFL stats are only like 41 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 5 QB hits, 1 fumble recovery, 2 pass breakups, and 1.5 sacks. So you look at those stats and you're like, man, he's just another, he's just another young defensive lineman that can't really quite catch on. Now, I'm coming on here. I decided to make myself, I forced myself to look at really some of the tape he had. It's hard to find some of the tape he had as a Falcon because personally, I can't find a lot of NFL tapes from the past. You can go to YouTube and stuff like that. You can find games. It's easier to find, well, from my end anyways, it's easier for me to find college games, even if it's Division II. I have a good little setup here where I can really search for older games in college, especially college, Division II, Division III, any type, the MAC, any type of conference that I really want to find. I have a setup where I can just tape games and I can keep them on a little box and I can look at them as I go, delete them, and it stores up to hundreds and upon hundreds of games if I wanted to. So I wanted to look at some tape on this guy. Now, he's a guy that's got a high motor. He's relentless. Very vanilla in the pass rush. Doesn't really have a lot of moves, if any. He relies purely on his size. Plays the run very well, though. His tackles for loss speaks volumes at 48.5 tackles for loss. That's pretty solid. Now, and like I said, 7-8 teams going after this guy. It's pretty impressive. That's probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to go look at him. Now, I'm not saying that this guy's coming in here and gonna be some type of superstar, some type of savior, but I think he has a legitimate shot at making the team. Being a former 4th-round pick, having a couple years under his belt, coming from being better in an attacking defense in Atlanta his first couple years under Dan Quinn. And then schools, and there's other teams looking at him. So did come from a small school. What I think they're going to use him as here in Detroit is I think they're going to use him probably as an inside pass rush. I kind of have to give a shout out to Big Wes Kniven for that. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, bro, your last name. Because I personally think he's still kind of a camp body. But when you look at him and you look at some of his game, he looked to be a little bit better inside than he was outside. Because he doesn't really have a pass rush. If he gets locked up, he's done. He doesn't really have a counter move for that. So he kind of relies on his first move. And if he doesn't, he doesn't do any good, he's kind of gets washed out of the play. Playing inside, I think he's a little bit stronger because he's such a big dude. And I think the Lions are going to ask him to gain a couple pounds as well too. I think he might be asking him to play like the interior, the run, maybe some pass rush from the inside on 3rd down. Some things might be happening with him. I don't know. I think he does have a long road to make this team. I'm not saying he's coming in here and being any type of superstar, any type of starter. But I think he could be a rotational piece. Now, 8 teams, like I said, looking at him. There's a reason for that, man, and that's a reason why I kind of had to go look at him. But he's very vanilla. He's got some ability to him. I love his motor. What I think the Lions are doing here is they're looking for a guy. They're looking to build some type of culture here. They're looking to get guys that are all in, that love football, high character, high motor guys, and this guy's one of them. He might not even make the team, right? He might not even make the team. I think he probably does. I think he's got a little bit of a long road ahead of him. But there's some guys that are going to need to step up here. There's some guys that are going to need to step up because this guy could become a rotational piece. He just hasn't really done anything at the NFL level. Hasn't really been able to start. He started like one game in his whole career, so he's got it in tough a little bit. Played with Charles Harris out of Atlanta too as well a couple years ago. So Harris kind of knows him, and I'm not sure they're just going off of what Charles Harris had to say. But they could have possibly asked him, hey man, what do you think about this guy? And he might have gave him the ups. He might have given him a thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm sure he gave him the thumbs up. But another interesting fact about this guy too is that when he went to Charleston as a Golden Eagle, he came in as an option quarterback at 218 pounds, ballooned himself up, or bulked himself, not ballooned as in fat either, bulked himself up to 286 pounds before he went into the NFL draft. Pretty impressive. That is impressive for me. 218, man, you know what I mean? That's 28, 38, 40, 58, 60. That's almost 60 pounds. That's more than 60 pounds. What am I talking about, man? 20, 30, 40, 58, 68, 78, 88. That's almost 70 pounds. That's 68 pounds. So that's very impressive, man, because he ended up being like 286 as his final weight going out of college and into the pros. Lost about 10, 11 pounds and played at 275 in Atlanta. So, you know, it's a guy that plays the run tough. Not much of a pass rush, but could be a rotational piece. You know, and like I said, I don't do a lot of what's it called? A lot of film study on guys that we just pick up off the waiver wire. But this was a guy that I got a little bit interested in because of so many teams wanted him. 25% of the teams wanted this guy, so I had to take a look at him. I had to see what was all the hubbub about, but he's still got it in tough. But it's a guy that loves the game, has got a high motor, and it's the type of high character guys that this team is looking at. So good pickup by the Detroit Lions. We'll see what happens if he's even going to make the club. But I decided to do this video. So yeah, man. John Cominsky, Detroit Lion, ex-Atlanta Falcon. Welcome to the D. Thanks for the video, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, get all my videos. Don't forget to like and comment. John Cominsky's in the house. You guys like it. He's in tough, but he brings some heart to this defense. Go Lions. Thanks, guys. Boom.